Good morning, lovely people. It is currently, sorry for the weird voice, it's currently like 11 o'clock, 11:15. I just finished a call with a job that I had applied for. So I just finished a call with a job that I had applied for from a suggestion on LinkedIn. Conversation went really well. It was a very nice guy. I'm going to go in and meet them on Thursday. It's for a training manager, which again, my goals are still focused on adulting done right and starting my own business, but I also need some money coming in. So we'll see. Very nice though, like very nice gentleman. Seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, enjoyed speaking with him, have similarities. But why I jumped on here is because I wanted to chat with y'all about my resume. So last week I published an article on Friday, which was nailing your resume, because as I'm going through this job hunt, I figured I would include you guys on the journey and give you the tips and tricks that have worked well for me. So with your resume, I should say, that is probably the most important piece to start out with, because that's what gets your foot in the door to actually be able to talk to somebody, get an interview, and hopefully move on from there. So you really want to make sure that you take the time to put together a well-written resume, because if there are things like typos, if there are things like that are just incongruent or inconsistent with what they are looking for or what you are looking for, that is automatically going to send your resume into the black abyss, never to be seen again by that recruiter or that hiring manager. And I know, because I have been a hiring manager for multiple companies, and that was always something that I looked at. Hold on one second. Sorry, I realized that the dryer may be a little distracting while I'm trying to talk to you about resumes, so I just went and turned it off. Like I was saying, there are things that you want to make sure that you do when you're crafting your resume to make sure that it does not end up in that black abyss, never to be seen again by a recruiter or hiring manager. On Friday's post, I uploaded and I shared with you guys a link to download a free guide to help you get on the right track with your resume. And there are a couple of things that I also want to talk about to help you as you're fine-tuning that resume. So I'm going to bring it up real quick. So before you ever begin writing your resume, what you really want to do is you want to think about and take some time to think about the type of job that you want, because that is going to dictate how your resume goes from there and what you're going to put on your resume. So you want to make sure that you carefully take the time to think about what sort of job that you would like to do. If you're looking for a sales job, you're not going to write about, the experience that you had, maybe lifeguarding, or what I'm trying to say is you're not going to write about an experience or something that isn't going to show that you are skilled for that job. Make sure you take the time to think about and write down what type of job you would like to be doing. Write down the title of that job. If you don't know what the title of that job is, write down what you think would be a title of that job. So that way, again, you can help give yourself a frame of mind and set the tone for what you're going to be writing. Once you set the tone and once you've decided what type of job you're going to be looking for, I like to write an objective statement. This is not necessarily something I suggest if you are already working in that industry, if you already have experience in that industry, but if you are changing careers or if you are new to the workplace, then it's not a bad idea to write down an objective statement. For example, I'm a professional, I'll just read you mine actually. That way you guys can see what I mean. So as an example, as a professional with an excellent record of success as a sales professional and program facilitator, I'm seeking a position that will utilize my experience in sales, building customer relationships, and training. That clearly defines for anybody that would be reading your resume what you're looking for. You want to make sure that you're able to speak to that. So the next piece that you're going to do on your resume and to clearly help define and get you in a good place with your resume is you're going to list a summary of qualifications that you have to do that job. This is not your work history or your work experience. This is the specific skill set that you feel like you have that will lend itself to getting this job done. I typically tailor this part for the particular job that I'm applying for. Sometimes there'll be subtle variations in jobs that you're applying for. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, if you're applying to multiple positions, again, all of them should be related to your overall objective, right? That job that you really would like. They all should be along the same line and have similar, if not the same, required skill set. But you want to make sure that you look at a couple of different job descriptions to make sure that you're hitting those key skills that each needs. So for example, one of the summary of qualifications that I have on my resume is demonstrated knowledge of leadership and how to effectively engage and train individuals in diverse groups of people, diverse groups of people. So that is a qualification that I have. That's a skill that I have. So I want to make sure that I include that if I'm going for training manager or training positions. The next section, which is your work experience, is where you support the summary of qualifications or the qualifications that you have listed that you have. You want to make sure that each job or each work history that you include has at least 3 supporting bullets or 3 supporting points for what you have stated in your summary of qualification. So for example, if we're using the same summary of qualification, that bullet point demonstrated knowledge of leadership and how to effectively engage and train individuals and diverse groups of people. So here's an example. I led all new hire training, including sales and service technicians, which focused on company culture, conflict mitigation, feedback, products, services, and troubleshooting theory for a team of 130 employees. But that's an example of something that I put to back up the claim that I made in my summary of qualification. You may be thinking, especially if you're new to the job market and you're possibly getting your first job, you may be thinking, well, I don't necessarily have any work experience to back up my summary of qualifications. So then in that case, think about what organizations you may have been a part of. Think if you were involved in any extracurriculars in school, think of any volunteering experiences, and create that list, and then think about, again, the skills and the skills that you developed that may be applicable to the job that you're looking for. Maybe think about experiences that you've had in school. Get creative here. Because everybody starts somewhere. Not everybody is going to have all the experience they need. Especially for this job that I just spoke with this gentleman about. He's looking for a training manager. He's looking for somebody that has extensive training experience, but also has experience in the staffing industry. I do not have experience in the staffing industry. However, I do have extensive experience in training. So one of the things that we discussed was spending a month or 2 working in one of their staffing facilities, to gain the experience of the staffing industry, to see what sort of obstacles and what things come up in their day-to-day that they may seek training on, so that I could be better prepared for that role. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you download that resume writing guide if it's something that you're interested in. Maybe you are on the job hunt yourself, and maybe you haven't been having any luck and need a little bit of guidance. If you are curious more about my journey with job hunting and, again, life as I go through adulting, then definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified when we upload new videos so that you don't miss anything. If you like this and you found this helpful, make sure you hit the like button because it really supports our channel and what we're trying to do. And that way I know what sort of content you guys like. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.